Honorable Abike Dabri-Erewa advocates inclusion of women in peace and security mission as she urges African diaspora to speed up continental investments. That's not all on the table. The International Center for Migration Policy Development, ICMPD, strengthens strategic partnership with the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM. We also have our complementary segments of health tips by Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, ANPA, and our diaspora of the moment. This is your favorite show, The Diaspora. I'm Juliana Vincent Yakubu, your anchor. Please stay. Welcome back. Gender inclusivity is not just a matter of equity and equality, but also a strategic imperative for national security. This is the standpoint of Honorable Abike Dabri-Erewa, Chairman, CEO, NIDCOM, as she delivers a lecture at the Defense Headquarters Annual Gender Conference 2024 in Abuja. Take a listen.
The inclusion of gender perspectives is a crucial factor in enhancing operational effectiveness. And a lot of studies have been done to prove that. For instance, I'm sure we have female peacekeepers and military personnel who have been instrumental in engaging with local women in ways male personnel cannot. So if they include you and you're in these places, there are ways you will talk to even the men. There are ways you get the women. There are ways you get the children. And that helps even the military that sent you on those jobs. So we should challenge those stereotypes and demonstrate a commitment to gender. Well, I say equity. Everybody says equality, but I say equity. Equity is fairness. I'm not a man, and I don't want to be a man. I don't want to be a man, but I want. Don't tell me because I'm a woman, I cannot do certain things. And that's why we're fighting for equity in everything we do. Justice, fairness. So when we integrate gender perspectives, it can also lead to more effective operational planning. For example, during humanitarian operations, understanding the specific needs of women and girls, such as, for instance, it's only a woman that will know that if I'm giving aid, let me provide for sanitary wears for the women. No man is going to think about that. There are some healthcare needs. Oh, I have to make provision for that for other women on the team. So when you do that, it enhances operational effectiveness. And it will even help with better training and support systems. So how do we implement everything Dr. Lazada said, but now focusing on the military, the armed forces? Number one is to develop policy. Very, very important. I don't know whether there's a specific policy, but whatever policy that's on ground that needs to be developed further and enhanced. So this policy, for instance, the policies of recruitment, retention, and promotion, ensuring that women have equal opportunities to advance in their careers. Gender responsive budgeting is important, and we must ensure that financial resources are allocated to support gender integration initiatives. Then training and education. It's important to encourage comprehensive training programs in all military personnel on gender issues. This includes understanding the impact of gender on conflict and security, recognizing unconscious biases, and learning gender-sensitive approaches. Then monitoring and evaluation. To measure progress and identify areas for improvement, robust monitoring and evaluation mechanisms must be put in place. This includes collecting and analyzing data on gender participation and outcomes, conducting gender assessments on gender integration efforts, and being transparent about the findings and action. And I'm stressing that word, transparent. Then community engagements and partnerships, also very important. The armed forces must partner with local and international women's organizations, civil society groups, to gain insights and collaborate on gender-sensitive approaches to security. Public education, military families, all should learn about the importance of this. So community engagement and partnerships is very, very important. Then at international engagements, the military, the armed forces should promote actively the participation of all you women in the armed forces, UN missions, peacekeeping operations, and prioritize gender equality and the promotion, gender equity, and the protection of vulnerable groups. Then it's also important to improve the existing quotas in which women are admitted into the military. I don't know specifically what the quota is now, but I'm sure we can do better. Can't we? So I think the quota for admission should be stated, should be improved, and should be implemented. I mean, we said 35%. I think they should give you women in the armed forces 55%. And we at the Nigerians, the Diaspora Commission, like I said earlier, we will be willing to partner with you, particularly the women in the armed forces. There are many programs and activities that you can participate in the diaspora. Even our own programs, we'll ensure we invite you specially as a women wing of the armed forces to all these programs. We have the Diaspora Day, we have the Door Return, we have our investment summit, we have the Diaspora Mortgage Scheme, housing and all that. We'll work together with you to see ways we can collaborate and support one another.
Partnership between Africans, home and in the diaspora, is key pathways to formidable continental development and advancement. The NIDCOM boss, Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, stated this while receiving a delegation from U.S. Africa Chamber of Commerce, led by Dr. Joe Madu in Abuja.
We want to really create a sustainable relationship in some key factors between the motherland and particularly our African American population. The Jewish Americans, Irish Americans, and the Kennedys and the Clintons and what have you, are Italian, they all have relationships. But it seems to me that the only part of African American that most African Americans can claim is their good looks, ability to dance, and their color. I would like them to become part and parcel of a vested interest in the land. This is why we're here, to bring these partners that represents thousands of other people, including the Black Farmers Association, particularly to anchor in agriculture, to invest in agriculture, take it to a scalable level, increase the value chain. We also want us to bring ethical mining. That's why we have a miner, to be able to build refineries. As a matter of fact, the goal is to build refineries in all the 54 countries in Africa. Agriculture, refining, and also infrastructure creates a marriage between local construction companies and vetted US engineering companies. The reason being that this is so critical is, after years of being a gatekeeper for the US Africa Chamber, access to funding is always a challenge. And it is easier for an American to have access to Exim Bank funding or DFC's equity participation than non-American. Therefore, if they have a vested interest in their fatherland, they are more likely to bring all the fundings that we need for infrastructure development. The last but not the least is wherever we have lacked or lacking, and I'm not saying that we have lacked anything, wherever we have failed or are failing, we must prepare our youth to prevail. And this is very important, considering we have a competitive and comparative advantage with the rest of the world when it comes to brain power. We must reverse that brain drain. This is why the US Africa Chamber of Commerce, we have collaborated with SAFTech Academy in Canada. What we are doing right now is nothing new. We are doing it in Kampala, we're doing it in Kenya, we're doing it in Rwanda. And what we're doing is providing scholarship in skill acquisitions like IT, cybersecurity, and so on and so forth. The list goes on.
Another thing, I also created a radio station or show that bridged the divide among the diaspora and the slave descendants, which was called Africans Cry. That is who I am. The cry came before the Lord, and I was the voice to deliver that cry and let Africa know, and her children, Mother Africa, that God has heard your cry, and you will be the next superpower. I started by showing myself friendly by going to Kenya first, South Africa, and then Ghana, different places to show myself friendly. But I also was a part of the Nigerian community in Las Vegas, the Ethiopian, all of them. And I came in as a representative, as an African American before they wouldn't let us in. So that was my way.
The significance of me coming back and forth to the continent for the past 25 years has been because of natural resources and what we can do with it. Because we have to be able to take charge of our own products and services. So I'm just happy to be a part of this, and anything that we can do, we're here to not just extract, but to design a plan, to find out what could be, like other nations do, a 25-year plan, and to find out what problems there are. I like to find out what the problems are. Whatever the problems are, I love to implement solutions. So we have a good collaboration of probably well over 100 entities that want to do business in Nigeria, that want to do business in Africa. So we've created a platform for them to be able to come in and contribute as much as possible.
As black persons all over the world, we have to work to develop this continent. Nobody will do it for us. And as long as we don't take Africa to where it should be, the world will continue to look down on all of us as blacks, whether you're in America or any part of the world. And we have to change that narrative by people like you coming to the motherland, knowing where the motherland is, and investing in the motherland. And I'm telling you, you can never regret it. We have a population of 200 million people, and then we're getting demands that you want your Nigerian passports that have done their DNA.
Yes, please.
That is, everybody is now demanding. So it's something that is in front of the Minister of Interior. We should be able to see what we can do about welcoming you home, because you have your DNA, it says who you are, where you came from, and they say, why not we get our Nigerian passport? Yeah. So it's a conversation that we're having. We also have another event. I wish we had another event in October, a gathering of African diaspora coming to Abuja, Nigeria. Yeah. So I'm glad to meet you. We're here to support whatever it is you're doing. And like I said, we'll provide customer service for you. NIDCOM is the embassy for the diaspora in Nigeria, which includes the historic African diaspora. So I'm glad you're home.
The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission inaugurates a standing committee to strengthen partnership and collaboration with the International Center for Migration Policy Development, ICMPD, in Abuja. The Secretary to the Commission, Dr. Sule Yakubu Bassi, inaugurated the committee on behalf of the Chairman CEO, Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa.
We've had several summits, and it's cascading. Like I told you, people are coming and buying houses in their states. People are coming and doing medical missions in their states from the people from the diaspora. There is some good work, and the foundation has been laid, and the foundation is being built upon, whether anybody likes it or not. We have to be sensitive. Some of the strategic action plan we couldn't follow them strictly like we wanted to, but that's not to say that we don't have it and we don't have a vision for it. So we thank ICMPD. And since then, I must also tell you that there is no National Diaspora Day that we've held without ICMPD being there. One of the issues that has been left hanging, we are supposed to have 5 continental offices, and it's 6 years down the line, we don't have a single one because we don't have the funds. So that is an outstanding part of our mandate here. And so a lot of things that we would have wanted one person in America to quickly do over there, we don't have that representation. The same thing in Europe, the same thing in Africa, the same thing in Asia, the same thing in Australia. And yes, Zoom technology has also helped us a lot. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure on behalf of the chairman, CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora commissioned Honorable Abike Dabri to inaugurate this standing committee and also to inaugurate its takeoff. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Our own initial assessment kind of reveals that NICON requires support in identifying its own short-term and long-term operational priorities. The kind of organizational structure that we put in place, because when you recruit people, you needed to give them job description, they need to have an idea of what the diaspora issues are and how to really deliver service, whether to the diaspora population or create a link between the diaspora population and the local environment. We didn't just want NIPCOM to be handy. So we try to leverage on some of our existing funds just to support at the peripheral level. But I can tell you, even for Dr. Mojisola today, we have really not done what we think we can do, and we don't think that NICOM has the kind of attention it deserves. We have a funding instrument called the Demand-Driven Facility. That demand-driven facility works exactly like this, but in this case, it is managed directly from here, and diaspora issue was included as one of the priority areas that we will fund.
Let's take a short break. The Diaspora continues shortly.
This walk that you're walking, even though it was known as the point of no return, we see it now as the joy of return.
The spirit of Africa could not be broken by the transatlantic slave trade. You cannot move the spirit. And the divine force, the spirit of Africa, has brought us back today.
Welcome to home.
Welcome back. If you must Japa, Japa legitimately. Now to our health tips with Amper Doctor.
So according to UNICEF, WHO, and multiple other breastfeeding organizations, there are so many benefits to breastfeeding. I actually like to call breast milk, liquid gold. It is that valuable. It is very important to try to initiate breastfeeding as early as 1 hour from birth for those who do breastfeed, and this can really help combat, childhood malnutrition. In the entire world, over 500,000 children are malnourished and do not receive enough food. Breast milk can help reduce that gap. Along with providing benefits to decrease the risk of malnutrition, breastfeeding also decreases the risk of gastrointestinal infections, diarrhea, eczema, respiratory illnesses, and in childhood leukemia. That has also been found to reduce that risk. There are also many benefits for the mother for breastfeeding. This can help mother get back to her pre-pregnancy weight. It also decreases her risk of ovarian cancer and breast cancer. Along with that, especially for the first 6 months, breastfeeding can really help in the aspect of helping space out births. This is not always foolproof, but breastfeeding for the first 6 months can at least help the mother minimize ovulation and can help decrease the risk of short pregnancy interval, which has its own risk and complications. When it comes to breastfeeding, it is encouraged to breastfeed the baby for up to 2 years. The reason why, as mentioned, is the nutritional aspect, where the baby can have more nutrition and access to healthy nutrition along with antibodies in the breast milk. Along with that, around 6 months, it is encouraged for the baby to, or recommended, for the baby to get complementary and nutritionally safe solid foods that can help along with breast milk. Last but not least, children who are breastfed have been found to have a decreased incidence of diabetes in their adult age, along with obesity. So breastfeeding is extremely valuable in so many different ways, especially in the medical sector. If mommy is able to breastfeed, her and the baby get so many benefits. It's something that I do encourage my patients to explore, right after, before the baby's born and after, to really help with those benefits we discussed.
Our Diaspora of the Moment is next, with Shalewa Ajila presenting.
Our Diaspora of the Moment is Miss Tracy Ibiobodi. Tracy is a chef consultant, traveler, and host of culinary events. She has also written and published the cooking guidebook, Soul Kitchen. Tracy embraced her passion for cooking and graduated from Italian Culinary School after 15 years of experience as a waitress in Italy, which brought her to the limelight. She emerged winner of the 2022 MasterChef Italia. The international cooking show was held in December 2022 and witnessed the appearance of notable and world-class chefs who participated in the competition. Among the 20 contestants at the event, judges were fascinated by Tracy's cuisine, which was a tasty menu of perfectly blended Nigerian and Italian cooking, which earned her the prize. In the words of Tracy, "During my path at MasterChef, I have learned to open up to what is unknown and accept what surrounds me without fear or prejudice and make it a part of my cuisine in a positive way." The Nigerian Italian received the prize of €100 in gold tokens and the right to publish a book of recipes. Congratulations, Tracy. We celebrate you as our Diaspora of the Moment.
That does it for today's episode of your favorite show. Keep watching The Diaspora. I remain your uncle, Juliana Vincent Jacobu. Stay positive.